Okay, so we're going to go over this thing to get your mind back in gear for the trick stuff that you're done, just to kind of reteach this to get you ready for the retest that you're going to take on this. The retest is only 5 questions long, okay? So we're going to go through here, work through some of these problems. So first of all, the mnemonic device we use to help to remember these trig functions. So, ka, toa. SOHCAHTOA. What does the S stand for? Sine. What does the C stand for? Cosine. And what does the T stand for? Stands for tangent. What does the O stand for? Opposite the H. And the A? Adjacent. So hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Okay? So on your calculator, just remember that the trig button's right next to number 7. That's the button you push to get to all the functions we're using for this. The most important thing is to make sure that your calculator is in degree mode for what we're doing. So the way you check that is you push doc 7.2, and then you check that the second line says degree. So everybody do that real quick in your calculator. Make sure you're on degree mode. So make sure you're in degree mode. Like go wherever you're doing your work at. See, it's set to radian, needs to be set to degree. There you go. Everybody got it? Up at the top right, it'll say whether you're in degree mode also. It'll say DEG up at the top or RAD. You want it to be in degree, not radian. All right, when you're looking for side length, you're going to use the regular sine, cosine, tangent function. When you're looking for the angle measurement, you're going to use the sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tangent inverse function. All right, so on this first one, when you look at where the x is, okay? You look where the x is. Is that asking for the measurement of an angle or the length of a side? It's asking for how big the angle is. So on these three, we're looking for the measurement of the angle. So on this first one, from this x, where's the h? Which side is the h, the hypotenuse? Okay, so this one right here is the h. It's the blank side on this one. Okay, so you know the h is the hypotenuse, it's the longest side. Also, the little right angle mark is like an arrow always pointing towards the hypotenuse. Which one is the A, the adjacent? 24. Adjacent means right next to, or the way I like to think about it, it's the side that touches the angle. And then obviously, what does that make the other one? The opposite. It's got to be. That's all that's left. And also you can tell how this side right here does not touch the angle at all, so it's the opposite side. Now as I think about these three, H, A, and O, which of those three do we not really need on this one? The H. That's on the blank side, so I don't care anything about that one. So on this problem, we're dealing with the O and A. O and A. So which one of the functions uses O and A? TOA, the TOA part, the T for tangent. So we're going to use a tangent function on this one. Now on this one, I'm looking for the angle, so I'm going to go tan inverse, okay, and we got TOA. So the SOHCAHTOA not only tells me what function to use, it helped me to decide I'm using tangent, but it also shows me how to set it up. So on tangent, I always put opposite over adjacent. So how long is the opposite? 7 over the adjacent is 24. All right. So go ahead and type that in your calculator. So we type that in, tan inverse of 7 over 24. So it gives you 16.26. The way we're going to round is to the nearest tenth, so just one place after the decimal. So we're going to make it 16.3. Okay. So we're going to say 16.3 degrees. Okay, next one. Here's the angle. Which one is the H? 70. Which one's the A? Blank. And then the O is 10. Okay, and by the way, I always label in that order. I always go H-A-O. Always label in that order, H-A-O. It'll help eliminate confusion on some things. So the H, A, and O, which one do I not need here? The A. A's gone. So on this one, I have O and H. So as I think back up here, which one has O and H? S, the sine. Okay? So on this one, I'm going to be using my sine function. And again, I'm looking for my angle, so I'm going to go sine inverse of 10 over 70. All right, so I'm going sine inverse of 10 over 70, and that's going to give me about 8.2 degrees, we'll say. Okay, then on the last one here, we're looking for this angle. Which one's the H? 82. Which one's the A? And the O? Blank. Which of those do I not need? Oh, so on this one it's A and H, cosine. I'm looking for the angle, so I'm going to go cosine inverse of A over H, which is 16 over 82. The A's always going to go on top, so I'll put the 16 here. The H goes on bottom. 82 is going to go down bottom. 16 on top, 82 on bottom. All right, and then when I type that in, cosine inverse of 16 over 82, what does that give us? Okay, so it gives us 78.7. Whoops. Okay, on the back. So on these, when you look at the X, on all three of these, is this X asking for the angle, the measurement of an angle, or the length of a side? This one's asking for the length of a side, okay? So on this first one, from that 54-degree angle, which one is the H? X. Which one's the A? The blank side. And then which one's the O? The 19. So which one do I not need? The A. So on this one, O and H is sine. So I'm going to go sine of 54 equals, okay, how long is the opposite? 19 over how long is the hypotenuse? X. So when the X is on bottom, do we multiply or divide? We divide, so we're going to go 19 divided by the sine of 54. So 19 divided by the sine of 54, what's that going to be? 23.5, because that 8's going to round that 4 up. So that's going to make that about 23.5 whatever units. Okay, next one, from this 21-degree angle, which one's the H? 27, which one's the A? X and the O, blank. Which one do I not need? The O. So this one's A and H, cosine. So I'm going to go cosine of 21 degrees equals the adjacent x over the hypotenuse 27. Now on this one, the x is on top, so what am I going to do? Multiply. I'm going to go 27 times the cosine of 21 degrees. Okay, 27 times cosine of 21 is going to be 25.2. All right, and then the last one in this group, so from this 48, which one's H? Blank, which one's A? And then O is the X. Which one do I not need? H. So that's gone. So on this one, O and A tells me to use tangent. So I've got 10 of 48 equals the opposite X over the adjacent 63. I'm going to multiply or divide here. Multiply. So I'm going to go 63 times 10 of 48. And what does that give you? Yeah, the 6 is going to round that 9 up, so it's like 69.968. So that's just all going to round that up to 70. Okay, these next two, okay, on these word problems, you're going to have word problems just like it on your retest in just a second, okay? They're going to be, the exact same thing, just different numbers. So, this first one, all right, we've got a ladder leaning up against a building, so I'm going to draw the ground here, I'm going to draw the building, and I'm going to draw this ladder leaning up against there. It says that the ladder is 12 feet long, and that the ladder makes a 74-degree angle with the ground. And what it wants to know, what it's asking for, is how high up the building does it reach. So it's asking for that distance right there. All right, so same thing we've been doing. Which one's the H? Where's the A? The bottom, the blank one, that makes this the opposite. So I don't need the blank side, the A. So on this one, O and H, what function am I going to be using? Sine function. So I'm going to have sine of 74 equals the opposite x over the hypotenuse 12. So I'm going to multiply here 12 times sine of 74. What does that give you? Yep, 11.5 feet. Okay, on the last one. All right, so you got this ship up here on the water, and it's shooting its sonar down, and it says that it's at an angle of depression of 23 degrees. And it says that the ship is 80 meters above the ocean floor. And the question here is, how far is that point? It's talking about the point directly below it on the ocean floor. How far is that away from where the wreck is happening? So it's asking for this right here. All right. Now, I don't know how Mrs. Sims dealt with this. Okay, so you have, this angle is 23. It's very tempting to want to put the 23 right here. But it does not go there. So there's two ways to deal with this. So you could do 90 minus this to tell you how big this angle is, or just recognize that this angle and this angle right here are the same. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to transfer that 23 down here. And I'm going to realize that. And once I get done with that, I'm going to scribble this one out so it don't confuse me. All right, so now, all right, so where's the H? Okay, the blank one, where's the A? It's the X, and where's the O? 80. So on this one, I don't need the H, so O and A, toe a tangent. So I'm going to go 10 of 23 equals the opposite 80 over the adjacent X. X is on bottom, I'm going to divide, so I'm going to take 80 divided by the 10 of 23. What does that give you? 188.5 meters.